Hello everyone, this is Endgame Arts. We'll do another unboxing, another breakdown of the demo. This is Gundam Breaker 3. This is one of the three imports I wanted to talk about. This, bear in mind, this is, as I said before, an Asian game, so therefore there's no English voice acting in the game, but there is English subtitles, as well as every menu and navigation system is all in English, so that's always a plus. Now, Gundam 3 had never actually had a physical American release or an English patch or English translations at all, aside from Gundam 3 here. So this is the first one the English speaker only, has ever been able to speak, or should I say, ever get to play. Now, bear in mind, to understand Gundam 3, is the best way to describe it is as a Armored Core mech, Dynasty Warrior arcade style game. Armored Core was a very popular, and hopefully it can come back, mech building kind of game where you build parts, get parts, and so on and so forth, and you assemble it together to build your own kind of style robot, and you can do all paint jobs and all that stuff. Well, here in Gundam 3, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's more of an arcade looter style way, where you can fully paint job your mech from individual pieces to however form you way you want. As well as, I thought this was quite interesting. It felt like they took the idea from Doom 3, where you can put paint damage, where you got damage on your mech, as well as there's dirt and the metal painting chippings and stuff like that, as well as different kind of paint job style for metallic and gloss and so on and so forth. Then you can get very intricate in style in the game. But I should point this out real quick. There is an 8GB update for the game. It's quite large. Now, I did play it for quite a while without any updates, and I didn't experience any problems whatsoever. Bear in mind, though, also Gundam Breaker 3 is a heavily inspired online game. Pretty much, if you're offline, you're constantly going to be hit with little indicators telling you, hey, you're not online, please log online. Log online. It's a pretty heavily, it's because it's a really, a 4-player co-op kind of game. And that's what kind of upsets me, is that the game has a heavily influence of playing 4 players, playing missions, getting loot, getting gear, and getting stronger with your friends. Well, due to the fact it never had an English release, so that means there would be too many American players playing it, as well as that there's less people out there who's going to be actually playing it, because they only released this in the Asian countries, even the English copy. So therefore, it just seems bizarre to me that they make a physical release like this full in English and not make it available here in the US. This game is completely unavailable in the US. It's not on PSN. You can't download any DLC or anything, but the patches still work. Like I said, this is a mech kind of building game. You take parts from the original mech Gundam games, or Gundam World and anime, and it all comes together. Now, I don't know how many of the Gundam series is within this game, but by my understanding, it's quite a bit. And it has quite a bit of variety and stuff. As like I said before, this is a loot game where you constantly get gear and stuff like that, and variations of rarity and stuff like that. And some of them will have their own benefits and skills and bonuses to it. As well as it has a kind of like a Nioh kind of style where you can fuse the abilities and status within the weapon to make it stronger. So it's kind of like I said, you constantly continuously getting stronger and stronger and building up your mech and building up your game. Now, you don't even need to know anything of Gundam. That's what the beauty of this game as well, is that Gundam, what this takes place is more of a, its own universe and style for the Gundam world. You don't even need to know anything of the Gundam anime or anything like that to really get into this game. So basically, if you're really into mech building or mech designing or any form of that, or you like Dynasty Warrior games, or you just like to this game looks interesting to you, you don't need to know anything of the Gundam world to actually appreciate the game. Now, as principle of the story, it's kind of follows the story of you or just a normal person. You don't actually get to pick your gender or anything like that, which I put this as a quick complaint, is that you don't get to pick a gender, and when you do get to pick a gender, you have to go to the store and buy an outfit. I thought it was kind of wrong that for the female players who may like Gundam and want to play as their gender, they actually have to buy the outfit. They couldn't just pick a free outfit for them to be a girl and then buy later outfits. I thought it was kind of wrong that girls have to buy the outfit they want to be the gender they are. They could have fixed that a little bit. Well, as a part of the story is that is you're kind of into this virtual world, and you're just going into the system, and you're playing these mech. You pretty much like bring yourself, and you put them on a pedestal, and it like transfers all your information. So basically, it's like a toy, and you put it on there, kind of like amiibos. You put it on this pedestal and it scans it, but you put all these pieces and you build your own Gundam. That's kind of what it is, and it goes into its own virtual world and style like this. Now, combat-wise, the game is pretty much close like a Dynasty Warrior game. You're constantly thrown in a mission with tons of other popular and well-known Gundams, as well as you're battling out, destroying them, and trying to break them apart to get your own pieces to build up your own Gundam. And getting loot and stuff like that, and there's chests, and there's even vehicles on the platform. Now, due to the missions, due to the fact that it is a pretty Gundam game, it does get a little repetitive. You constantly feel like you're doing the same thing, but every time you go in it, there is a few variations. So like you saw right there, special enemies may appear, and they might have special loot and special gear. That way you can, every time you play it, next time you play it, they might not be there, or you might be invaded by somebody else. It's kind of like the Dark Souls invasion kind of thing, where you're being invaded by some random person. On top of that, as I said, there's also chests in the game, so when every time you play it, there could be a more rarer chest, or multiple chests, or just one chest in a section. So every time you play a mission, the same mission again, you can constantly have at least a somewhat different experience. Now, the same enemies will always be there, and it gives you a list of the enemies. That way you can know what kind of loot you might be picking up in case you want to get that specific gear. As I said, there is rarity in the game. Like I said, there's common, there's uncommon, rare, and one of a kind, and so forth. Kind of like the typical loot games. You're just constantly getting gear. As I said, it's pretty much close like a Dynasty Warrior loot game. I did find this pretty actually enjoyable. I found it as a good little experience of a game to play, and something you can do off your off time or something like that, or something small if you're interested in just playing a game where you don't really have to think too much, but you just want to feel like you're progressing. It's got many abilities, things you can upgrade, different kinds of weaponry, and each one's got their kind of own style, as well as you can customize your own abilities from what kind of special attacks you want to use, and what's your ultimate form transformation move. There's lots of things you can do, but like I said, it does feel a bit repetitive, and it would have been nice to have a little bit change of pace here and there. But as what it is, it does it pretty good. The only other little gripe I could say with the game is that when you get to cutscenes and you get to the finishing the game, as you can see here, it kind of looks, I don't know, it could have been looking a little bit better than what it is. It just, I don't know, I wish they kind of maybe did the visual novel style. I just wish it would have kind of like that, as well as maybe make multiple choices and you can make decisions. It could have been a little better in that part, but it's not like it's the main focus of the game. You can tell the game was all about just building mechs and building your own ideal ultimate mech, or Gundam if you will. Like I said, it's a good Dynasty Warrior game where if you just want to build a mech. And that's what kind of upsets me, is that it just they just make it feel like that people out there may not like Gundam games outside the Asian or oriented countries. And I'm not saying that Gundam's super popular in the U.S., but I know there's a good following here in the U.S. and also among other countries. Other than Asian countries. I mean, Gundam is one of those very first, humongously popular mech animes out there, and it's still going on to this day. So I'm sure there's still people outside the Asian countries that would like a Gundam game. But even if this wasn't a Gundam game, I mean, if this game got released, you don't even really need to be part of Gundam's world to get involved with this game. It's a great game if you really love mech building, if you really like arcade art Dynasty Warrior game. It wouldn't even matter if you were a Gundam fan, because you just would love to build your robots and customize them and paint them and everything like that. So it just seems like such a waste that they to not release this in the US for other people, especially the fact that it focused so much on multiple people getting together, 4 players, co-oping, getting loot, getting stronger, seeing who's the best, who's got the best mech, and just limit the release so much where now there's hardly anybody you can really play with, or anybody you can really understand or get along with, to have a conversation with. So, it's a great game, and I do feel that it probably will never be to see the light of day due to the fact it's such a limited location release. So like always, I will put links down in the description if you're interested in a copy. I highly recommend if you're going to pick a copy, you might as well do it as soon as you can, due to the fact that it might become quite rare due to the fact, like I said, it doesn't got too many physical releases, and it's the only English version out there ever for the Gundam Breaker series. Hopefully, we can maybe see more future releases in the future. my Gundam Breaker 4 might get a US release. So thank you all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. And as I've always said, you guys are awesome. I appreciate every one of you. And hopefully these videos can help you and know about certain games you want to add to your collection, or just know about a game that you may not be interested in anymore. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!